Hi, I'm Joel Topstick from Broadcasting and Cable magazine. For more than 75 years, Broadcasting and Cable has been the definitive news source on every aspect of the television industry. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a video series on the digital television transition. This is one of the biggest changes in the history of broadcast television, and you're going to want to know what it means to you. You'll learn everything from how it will affect that vintage TV set in your home to what it means if you are a cable or satellite TV subscriber. You'll learn about different types of digital TV sets, antennas, and other resources available. We'll show you an actual demonstration of over-the-air digital TV, and you'll see a step-by-step installation of a digital to analog converter box. Finally, you'll learn all about the government program that can help you pay for one of those converter boxes should you need one. So let's get started with an overview of digital television and the coming transition with Jonathan Collegio of the National Association of Broadcasters.
What is digital television?
Digital television is a new way of broadcasting information over the airwaves that's more like a computer than it is a radio signal or the older forms of transmissions that we used to have. So the transmissions are actually in data bits like a computer, and when you transmit through data bits, you're actually able to eliminate all that interference and fuzz and the little things that can tweak a picture. None of that exists in digital. So when folks are receiving a digital signal, they're receiving a crystal clear DVD quality picture in their homes.
What are the advantages to digital television?
The upside of digital for viewers and for television stations is enormous. You have crystal clear pictures and sound quality. More channels, because you're able, through the digital signal, to be able to broadcast more programming using the same amount of airwaves. So you can actually broadcast up to 4 programming streams at the same time. That's called multicasting. You can also broadcast in high definition. It's impossible. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's very, very difficult to broadcast an HD signal in an analog format. So by broadcasting in digital, all of a sudden television stations across the country can broadcast high definition programming.
Is HD TV the same as digital television?
Digital television, when we talk about DTV, we're generally talking about standard definition digital television, DTV. HD TV is the highest form of that, and the difference between them is like if you were to look at a newspaper and you look really, really closely at the print in the newspaper, you see a lot of little dots. Television is kind of the same way. It's broadcast a lot of information in little dots. When you go to a magazine, a full-color magazine, you look really close and you can no longer see those dots. That's kind of the difference between HD and DTV.
What happens to free over-the-air TV broadcast during the digital transition?
On February 17, 2009, all television stations across the country, full-power television stations, must discontinue broadcasting an analog signal. And after that point, will broadcast exclusively in a digital format.
Who will be affected by the digital transition?
Viewers of broadcast television who get television through antennas and who don't have digital tuners inside of their television sets will be impacted. We estimate that to be about 19.6 million households across the country that receive television exclusively through antennas in their households, and then another 14.9 million households across the country that are hooked up to cable or satellite or another pay television service, but then have an unconnected antenna set in the back bedroom or in the basement or in the kitchen or an RV or something like that. All of those sets have to be upgraded by February 17, 2009, or they will not be able to receive that new digital programming.
How do I upgrade to digital television?
Well, there are 3 options for a consumer that needs to make the upgrade to digital television. The first is to buy a new television set. All new sets have digital tuners integrated within their sets. So if you buy a new television set and it has an ATSC digital tuner in it, you're taken care of. You can also get a digital to analog converter box that takes that digital signal out of the air through the antenna and then converts it into analog for your older television set. The third way and final way to upgrade to digital is to just make sure that you're hooked up to a pay television service like cable or satellite or Fios or another pay television service.
If I decide to get a new digital TV, what should I do with my old TV set?
Probably best not to throw it away. There are a lot of folks who would like to use those sets. We've been working with Goodwill Industries, and they have a massive recycling program for older sets. And you can also visit this website, mygreenelectronics.org. And on that website, you can type in your zip code and find a television recycling facility near where you live. This way you can recycle the television set instead of throwing it into a landfill.
Where can I find more information about the digital television transition?
There's a wealth of information for viewers who want to make the upgrade to digital at dtvanswers.com. It's the best consumer education website out there about the DTV transition. dtvanswers.com has a variety of different materials, from how to make the upgrade to digital to finding out all the options that you might have for antennas, a lot of different resources for consumers to take the steps that they need to take to make that upgrade to digital television.